So I've always found it absolutely fascinating that discs fly differently at different elevations. So I've always wanted to make a video where we put that to the test by taking the same disc and throwing it closer to sea level and then well above 10,000 feet, obviously with the same person throwing it. So off to sea level. So naturally, since Procyon is our first distance driver, AKA our widest rim yet, it just felt like the perfect time to do this video. So here's the plan of action. First, we're gonna establish a baseline of how this disc flies at sea level. And actually, what elevation am I currently at? You're about 713 feet above sea level. Okay, interesting. I thought Chicago was like closer to sea level, but it is what it is. The sea level test will be performed at 713 feet, which is a good baseline for the general community who lives under 1,000 feet. The good news is that the second part of the test is going to be performed well above sea level. So basically the first part of the test is on one side of the pendulum and the second part is at the complete opposite side. All right, well, this is an awesome Midwest course. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a hole out here that was just perfectly flat, dead straight, 450-ish. So instead, because I'm one of the only people out here, I'm just gonna make up a hole and maybe we get a fake ace while we're at it. So, UDisc is telling me I'm 450 feet from this basket. So 450, dead straight. And actually this works out really well because it's slightly downhill, which means I'm simulating even closer to like a true sea level throw. All right, we're gonna go flat, hyzer, and anhyzer, see what happens. Starting with the flat. Oh, I mean, I don't know how to make these videos anymore because I just seem so biased. And I don't think I've fallen more in love with one of our discs than I have with this disc as I just keep throwing it. It is so much fun. Okay, so I kept that super low. As you can see, basically the disc wanted to drift to the right and then fade to the left. Obviously I threw it super low, so it didn't have much time to fade. Let's just give it a little more high on the next one. Yes. All right, the sun is starting to come out and I'm already such a baby when it comes to humidity. Robbie, I don't know how you do it, man. I think I'm gonna go slight hyzer straight at it and then we'll go bigger hyzer off to the right. Yeah, I like that. Oh, please. 10 out of 10 recommend making discs and throwing discs that you made. If you can do that, it's the best. All right, let's go wide hyzer. I'm really curious to see how much we can get this to hyzer flip up, but then still ride that hyzer. Just as a reminder, all we're trying to do is get a baseline for this disc and then compare it to how it flies at over 11,000 feet. Also, sub goal, be out here as little as possible because humidity is no joke. Yep, you're gonna like this disc. Let me try that one more time. Yeah, it's so nice. It just flips up a little bit and rides the hyzer. All right, the sun is fully out now and my desire to be out here in the humidity is waning. Actually, it never even was. So, anhyzer, there's tall grass out here. This is honestly how we lose a disc, so I hope we don't. But I'm really curious about how quickly this thing is gonna fight out when I give it the anhyzer. So I'm gonna aim at the top of that tree, and you obviously know what tree I'm talking about. And then we'll just see how quickly it fights out. Do we have a small headwind? I don't think it's enough. Yeah. Okay. Get down to that patch, please. There's like a little patch over there. I think we might not have lost that disc. Let's try that again. Yeah. Oh, it still fights out quick. Oh. All right, the bag of Procyons is getting smaller because there's some tall grass behind me, and a couple of the shots where I was trying to get a good read, I got a little overzealous, and yeah, I just don't want to mess with the Midwest. So those ones are my gift to you if you know what course this is and if you want to mess with ticks. So best of luck to you. Otherwise, I would say the Procyon is acting exactly like I expected. And maybe it's confirmation bias, but at the end of the day, I lived at sea level for so long, and now I live a mile above sea level, so I have a pretty good gauge for how discs fly at different elevations. And based on the initial tests, if I had to choose the flight of the Procyon that I prefer, so far just knowing how it flies in Denver and then here at sea level, I want the closer to sea level version. Okay, fine. I'll throw one forehand, but my forehand is not very good, so forgive me. There's a little gap off to the left. This is only 263. I'll try to do just forehand through that gap, right over the construction stuff. Yeah. Okay. That was luck. Just trust me. My forehands have not been that good lately. But you could see on 263, which is not that much power, it was on hyzer and it wanted to stand up a little bit, but it didn't have enough power behind it to really stand up. So it just held the hyzer line under the basket. If you want to see a real forehand though, here's our friend Christian from Queen City. Dude has the most insane forehand ever, and that's why I don't even try.
Oh, come on.
Oh, this looks perfect.
Get right. Get right! Oh my gosh!
All right, new sub goal unlocked because I'm failing at the first sub goal, which was to be out here as little as possible. I have not been out here as little as possible. Shanked a couple into some tall grass, had to deal with that. Whatever, we're here now. So we're taking sub goal number 1 of least humidity possible, pushing that out the window, and we're moving in its place. How far can I throw a Procyon? I want to see what I can get my max distance out of it with. So right here, we've got a little valley and a basket at like 480 from where we are right now. This is not hole 16 at this course. Hole 16 is a dog leg around the corner, but if I don't throw far enough, I'm definitely losing a Procyon. So 480, can we get to the pin? If I can get to the pin from here, so 480, that would be a max throw for me in a long time. It's been a long time since I've thrown 480. I think we can do it. Not official T-pad, but it is what it is. Is it too nose up or do I love it? I feel like I love it. Okay, crossed over, slightly nose up. Run up's a little funky because we don't have a real T-pad. Let's try that again. I would guess that was, we'll call it 4, I don't know, 10? Yes? Did we do it? I mean, we'll take it. I'll measure that. We'll see what it was. I'm happy. All right, we made it to just over 11,000 feet above sea level. And since the parking lot is 10,500 feet and I just walked straight up to this hole, I'm gonna guess we're well over 11,000 feet at this point. I'll look on maps and put something on the screen. However, we've got a hole that's dead straight, almost the exact same distance as we played back at sea level. And the last time I threw a Procyon was at sea level. So this should give us the perfect gauge. Now, obviously one of the hardest parts about playing at this elevation is finding an absolutely flat hole. So yes, there is a ski slope literally in the middle of this fairway. However, that should push the disc to the right and make it more understable. So it should give us a very good judge of how different a Procyon flies up here. I'm actually kind of nervous. Depending on how the stability is and how this hole works out, we might try the Anheuser, which should be very interesting. So Procyon 450 straight ahead. I should be pushing just over this contraption, flat and straight. That's our first judge. Oh my gosh. 0 turn. I mean, I would say that was the same power that at sea level I was getting turn out of it, or even the same power. I threw that pretty hard. That was kind of close to the same power for the Anheuser. Let's try that one more time. I'm just gonna try to throw really hard and really flat at the same time. Nothing. Absolutely 0 turn. Don't roll, please. I mean, here, that's what? A 0.2? Like, I would probably do flight numbers at like a 0.2. I knew going into this already that the higher elevation you are, the more stability you have on your disc. But genuinely with the ski slope here, I am shocked. So I think we should try the Anheuser, and I'm nervous about it, but the parking lot is down there. So I guess worst case scenario, it just goes back down to where the parking lot is. There's a tree line up there I'm just gonna aim for. We'll see what it does. Okay. So, don't roll. More Anheuser. I did not think this was gonna be as fun as it is, but wow. If you can do this at any point, throw above 10,000 feet. I'm gonna go just an annoying amount of Anheuser. You have got to be kidding me. Okay, one more. I don't even want to try the hyzer at this point. So just follow through like that. Throw a roller. I cannot tell you how much Anheuser that was. You have got to be kidding me. That was, I would have totally burned that just off frame at sea level. I did not expect this to be this fun. This is crazy. I am so happy that I did not throw the Procyon between Chicago and here, because genuinely the difference between 700 feet and 11,000 plus feet is even more than I gave it credit for. And I live here. Plus, with just that sheer mountain slope back here, it should make the disc want to turn and hold like crazy. Like any of those Anheisers at sea level would be in the parking lot. But here, it's just immediately fighting out. It was so crazy. So maybe the moral of the story when all is said and done is, should you play in the mountains? Absolutely. If you can get out to the Colorado mountains, it is just unbelievable and gorgeous out here. But forewarning, your Rollo might be a buzz. I am genuinely shocked by that. Okay, there is one more hole we have to play before we leave though. All right, this is the obligatory hole you have to play when you're out here. Hole 16 is 420 feet. Of course it is. Right down here, but there's a farther basket that's hole 17. So Safari Super Layout is played at that one. And UDisc is telling me I'm currently 840 feet from that basket. So before we leave, we have to throw this shot. 840 feet with the Procyon. You could call this cheating to try to beat my max distance, but you know, we're here. I think at the end of the day, that's the real moral of the story. Disc golf is just fun. Have fun. If you want to have fun with the Procyon, it's out now. And if you want to see how it flies, this will not tell you how the Procyon flies. Yes, get some flip, get some flip. Come on. It's crazy how it flipped even though I threw it on hyzer. Oh, past the basket, hit the dead tree. 900 foot max distance. Get at me. Actually, I take it all back. The moral of the story is to only throw one off the tee when you're playing out here.